Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel.
Hope you have a wonderful day. In today's video, we're doing a Q&A based on a post that was somewhat interesting. So the question goes, need some advice on how I go about the best way to save and buy my first home. We can save roughly, save somewhere from $300 to $1,000 a week at the moment with $5,000 saving. My dream is to buy a home as soon as possible, but with a young child and a good rental situation, I don't know if I should look at trying to invest my money or just slowly roll savings until I get to 10 to 20% deposit. So
It's a tough,
it's a tough question.
very tough situation as well.
So at the very least, you have some sort of a goal of
What you want.
You have a budget of $300 to $1,000 in saving.
That's quite a lot.
That's a lot. And having a young child, or
cherry on top. You gotta pay childcare.
Yeah. So, like with $5,000 saving, it's a good start. But that's just on saving.
Yeah.
So depending on your situation, and if you're already thinking of the 10 or 20% deposit, go with the 20% deposit. At the very least, save it up.
But there's one most important piece of information is how much of the house value that this person is looking at. If let's say if he lives in Sydney, he want to get something normal in Sydney,
actually, from
right?
After talking to our friend, my friend on last week. It was like really far away from the city, very in the west of Sydney or so. That was at 1.2, I think it is. Or
just one.
Yeah. So based on $1 million price tag, you need $200,000 on if it's 20% deposit plus admin costs.
So let's assume you can really save 1,000 a week. That will take 4 years.
Yeah.
4 years to do it.
So at least you have a goal in mind, but you definitely, I would go with at the very least the 20% plus the admin costs, because that way you don't have to pay the lender's mortgage insurance. Having a young child, after what we experienced, it can get stressful when you have a mortgage to pay.
Plus kid, plus family.
Plus the cost of living.
And then he mentioned they have a good rental situation, which means they're comfortable, or maybe what they're renting is really good. It is very hard decision. Like one of our friends, they have some money and then they wanted to buy a PPR in Sydney, but they couldn't find anything. So they were thinking, should they invest in interstate or should they invest in ETF? Of course, we told them what we
did.
knew.
So.
Yeah. Anyway, but
we did all of those though. We did the purchase interstate, and then realizing it's too hard.
But I don't know. It all depends on for us. Having your own home is different.
Yes,
very different.
Yeah,
and you can upgrade anytime. You can do anything you don't like. You don't have to worry about rent is going to increase. You don't have to worry about landlord going to kick you out. That's the beauty of having your own home. But you need a big lump sum for deposit. And then if you have to be in the house for at least 10-20 years.
Yeah, we found that you need to be here for about 10 years to sort of like to make it worth it. But if you're thinking of moving here, moving there, and if you don't have that set in stone, your goal, let's say, it's probably not a good idea to buy a house. But yeah, I understand. But you have a young kid, young children. The young child thing sort of get me, because you want that stability for the children. You don't want to move around.
Yeah.
So at the same time, understand that, hey, this is not just something like temporarily thing. So this is a long-term commitment. This is a 10, 20, 30-year commitment. Great that you started with $5,000, but you need to build it up to whatever the 20% is, whatever price market.
Okay, let's assume that price range that they're looking for is $500,000. Right? So it's be more simple. It's not in a big city. I'm sure you still can get it somewhere in Queensland, $500,000. So 20% of it is $100,000. So that will take them 2 to 3 years to save it up. Right? It is totally doable. I will go through that approach. I will save it for, let's say, 3 years, have a plan. and then the money, should you put it in slowly in a high interest saving account, or would you put it in ETF? So I would put it in a high interest saving account. I wouldn't put it in
because
ETF.
it's for a property. Because in the market, let's say it fluctuates, you want to
high risk,
like from one moment to another. There are possibilities that you will lose all of that. So I would not put it in the market. I would just go somewhere that is safe, which is high. Yeah, it's a high saving account. So but it's tough because we went through that stage. We're like, okay, we just focus on just saving. We did the buy investment property when we were in the beginning of our journey.
I'll say now, looking back, we were lucky. We started quite early before having kids, because after having kids, everything is just a lot different, a lot harder. Yeah, a lot to consider. You can't take that much of risk. Once you fall, I feel like it's harder to get up again. Or
definitely, like it's in the right mindset. Definitely go for the 20%, if not higher, to minimize to minimize your repayment as well. And then once you get there, instead of paying like interest only, change it to principal and interest.
Yes.
And then if you can pay it off a little bit more than the bare minimum, and pay as quickly as possible.
Yeah.
Other strategy would be paying them off weekly instead of monthly or fortnightly. Having that alone, it would reduce the
interest,
the
accumulated interest,
and the time frame of the loan. So you got to figure that out as well. There is a lot for this person to do their research, I say. Understanding what is a commitment that you have to do, and looking at the price range. Trust us, like sometimes
that's very hard decision though. Like it also depends on where you're in, the price range of the property. Now, I feel like I can feel like why so many people moving out from Sydney.
More like
that's
from the
current
like situation, the current location. I haven't met somebody that bought in the similar suburb. From say like
where we used to
yesterday.
live.
I mean, yesterday when we talked to someone, they went from Lidcombe and all the way somewhere in
further west. Further.
Went from Parramatta go to Baulkham Hills, and then went from, I guess, one side. They always have to move
further.
So that it's
well, lucky for us, we don't have families in Sydney, so we can just move,
pack our bag.
Yeah. Well, now it's 100% understand why it is lifestyle choice instead of if we're using the same amount of money in Sydney, we only can afford an apartment.
Yeah, I can't even buy a house.
No, we cannot.
Well, we can, but it's gonna be not in
too far
in the location.
It's not in Sydney Metro. Cannot be.
So I understand that as well, because when you are going to move, there's bound to be location change. We went the whole entire state change.
Yeah, depends on what's your choice. If you have families around, maybe stick around, go for a smaller one.
Yep.
Or like us, we don't have any string attached. We can just move to choose lifestyle. And yesterday we went down to the coast and we're thinking, oh, it's really good area to retire. And now we're thinking moving in 20 years.
And then that's the other thing, right? So your first home is not going to be your forever home. Understand that. So we've already moved from an apartment to a house, and then this is going to be temporary until the kids go finish university. So and then when we're retiring, we probably have to downsize because this is going to be a bit too big, and then the next one will be probably going to be a lot more smaller. Instead of 2-story, will be a single story. And then maybe another one. To retirement homes.
Anyway.
So but at least they're in the right mindset. Start saving.
Yes.
So that's just our 2 cents based on our personal experience. If you like this type of content, don't forget to subscribe, comment.
See you next time.
Bye.